What up? Your boy's back. No more leaks. It tried to rain today, but nah, we ain't having that. It's your boy Chucks. It's your boy Pete. Birds of a feather. No huddle gonna be a good one. Maybe the best part of the night show. I'm not gonna lie to you. So
Probably.
we'll wait till we get there. We're gonna get there. All right, let's go.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like horses gegen he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? This is Birds of a Feather on A2D Radio, brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere you get your podcasts. So if you're listening to us live right now or on your commute or wherever you listen to your podcast, we thank you as always. It's your boy Chucks here, another week, and returning from the depths of his leaky roof.
Oh, it's still not fixed yet. That's the whole insurance deal.
It's your boy Pete. What's going on, brother?
Hey man, just happy to be back. Another week closer to the draft. Something happened for the Eagles. You know, our poll question says it all. That's probably the most exciting thing that happened with it. Well,
Yes.
I mean, the Kyzir White signing. But as far as sports around here when it comes to football, I mean, dare I say this is the first time in a while I'm looking to hitting season. I feel these lineups are going to be something nice. But football is what it is. Bruce Arians stepping down, Quasi. You know, I think I like the fact that they appointed Todd Bowles, but not too much going on. So I don't want to steal the thunder of the poll question. I'll let you go ahead and lay that out there for the fan. But we appreciate you rocking with us, our usual. And if you're new here, get in where you fit in. The fan will guide you along. They'll guide you along. So let's I'm looking forward to tonight's show.
Absolutely. I mean, you nailed it. There's not much going on, but we still got some stuff to talk about in the first quarter. Probably the most, I don't want to say exciting, but like debatable topic, I guess you can say, is the return of the Kelly Green uniforms. They're back. Well, not yet. They're not back yet. They're coming back in 2023.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that. That's going to be the first quarter of the show. In the second quarter, we'll get to your latest free agency news with the Eagles and around the NFL. The Eagles signed Kyzir White, just like my boy Pete said. So we're going to talk about that. What does it mean for the rest of the Eagles' offseason plans at linebacker? Does it mean anything for their offseason plans at linebacker? We'll also talk some of the latest and breaking news from the NFL and around the league. In the third quarter, as we have been doing in previous weeks, we're going to talk about draft. We're going to leave Q&A up to you. You guys want to talk about anything about the draft? We're here to talk about it. Fire away those questions, those comments. If you've got a take that you want to fire off, absolutely fire it off. That'll be the second half of the show in the third quarter. And to end the show in the fourth quarter, as usual, we've got our no huddle, which Pete alluded to at the top of the show, in the intro, and might be the most electric part of the show tonight. So we've got a lot to talk about no huddle. Stay tuned, and especially if you're a foodie, definitely stay tuned. So, but we've got the first quarter of the show, which is brought to you by eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, if you're looking for a change in career brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foy at exprealty.com. Our poll question for tonight, which I will bring up Again, it has to do with the Eagles' uniforms. Kelly green should be the Eagles' primary uniform color. Agree or disagree? So a lot of people might think that this is an easy thing to agree on, but some people might be surprised. Pete, what do you say to lead it off? Do you think the Eagles' Kelly green of your should be the primary uniform color? Pete, I think you're muted.
Rookie mistake. For me, I would have to say yes, but for where the team is at right now, I would have to disagree because of the fact that this generation now, like we got Flight Zone, Jimmy and Evan, perfect example, right? Early 20s, they're fine. Like as long as far as back they can remember, they see Midnight Green. You see what I'm saying? They've seen Midnight Green their whole life. That's all they know. When they think of Eagles football, that Midnight Green, if you want to, I think that's what it's called. That's all they know. That's all they can recollect to. So I can't see it being a primary again. I think the window is passed. The window is passed. So I mean, but getting it back now as it is, in the fashion that we're getting it back is definitely going to be a nod. It's something for us. It's something for the older generation of Eagles fan. I like the fact this year when they go to the all black alternate, they're going to have all black helmets now. I think that's going to look badass. You know what I mean? So, and the thing is, I don't know why it took so long for Kelly Green to come back. The NFL is always about making money, right? You know, they make money in their sleep, but trying to find new ways to make money. Like no team, especially for the core following the fan bases. You got your Eagles, you got your Cowboys, you got your Steelers, you got your Ravens, you got your Pats, got your Jets, even the Giants. Those teams with a strong fan base, you can put out as many jerseys as you want. Just in different varieties and different variations. It's definitely something that's going to sell. They're not going to lose money on it. Like I don't think you don't lose money on the Eagles jersey because of the colors or the style of the jersey. You lose money on the Eagles jersey when you trade away players or players get cut and it's the name on the back. That's when the jersey dips in value. You know, not because of the way it looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I was kind of hoping you'd go the other way, but I am going to also disagree to the poll. And I have you probably are, and to my surprise at least, the chat is kind of on your side.
Mm-hmm.
They want to keep Midnight Green over the Kelly Green as the primary. I thought we'd have some more people so far say that they wish it would be the primary, because I've seen a lot of feedback online the past week, or not even just the past week. People I talk to in general, they want the Kelly Green back. For me,
I would love to see what the age of those people, but like Warren McKay brings up a great point. The Super Bowl was won at Midnight Green. Like, yeah. I mean, that's having a big joke at the end of the spades hand. Like when it's the last book and you got the last card, like, hey, you go through all your pros and cons. Super Bowl 52. What jersey did they have on? What color was it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but no, as you were, sir.
Yeah. No, and it's a good, I mean, I know a lot of people also that would say, like, who cares if they want a Midnight Green? You can still make a change because they'll never forget it. Like, for me, though, I still feel like I'm in the minority, and this is why I'm going to say that. I obviously, I said I disagree with the poll. I don't think it should be the primary. I think it should stay as an alternate. And as an alternate, to me, it's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, the Midnight Green is way overrated. Like, the hype that it gets from a lot of fans saying, like, oh, this uniform is fire, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, I don't think so. I honestly think by itself, as a primary color on a jersey, when I see it on TV, I think it's ugly. I've always thought that.
You know what? You may be. Now that when I think of midnight green and I think of Kelly Green Eagles, I'm just going to. I don't think of the uniform. I think of the fitted hats. I think of the apparel. I think of the starter jacket, the pullover, the Kelly Green with the silver stripe and the white stripe. That's what I think about. That's what I recall it to. I really don't recall it to what we see now. But also at the same time, seeing how the graphics and change, the materials have changed, how they do it now, you have to wait till 2023, maybe a little bit different. But when you just take it for what it is, you go back and I look at the 1980 NFC Championship game. Was it 80? Was it 1980?
The NFC against the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Isn't that 80? That's 80. 80. You're
80,
right.
1980, right?
Yeah.
When you
at first I was like, is it 83? But no, that's the Sixers.
Right.
So, yeah,
when you think about it, like maybe back then, but if you had think of a team with silver, what team does white with silver now? I think the Raiders still do it. Like the silver pants with the green piping and the stripe. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like that, just you kind of make your point. Like the uniforms themselves weren't nothing, but it's the nostalgia fact of it. It's the want that you haven't seen it in a while. But really, exactly. Like if I get a throwback Eagles hat, Kelly Green, I will say this. Don't get me wrong. I like the midnight green, right? And we see a lot of love for the midnight green. The logo on the Kelly Green, I think, is better than the logo on the midnight green.
I like the logo.
I like that eagle.
When you're talking about just the logo,
just the spread eagle, that, football on the talons.
Yeah, I don't mind it. See, that's the thing. Taking color away from it. The logo, I like the logo. So that's separate. But I honestly I say this online. I have a group chat with some other friends, and I say exactly what you said. I feel like people want the Kelly Green and they think it's awesome. They want it. They think it's awesome. They overhype it because of nostalgia, because it's the throwback. You know, you talk about tradition, and that's fine. But I wouldn't take it as far as saying, "Hey, that has to be brought back as the primary color." No, I think overall in general, midnight green is a better shade of green than Kelly Green, and I've always felt that way. I think that it gets overhyped and people want it back way too much, and it's just
I don't think people realize how vivid the color is.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see 2020. Now, do you think when they bring it back, they're bringing it back all in its image and likeness as it was originally?
I think so. I think they'll do that because the trend what we've seen with other teams when they bring back now their throwback, uniforms, and they bring it back as you look at the Chargers, it's pretty much essentially the same thing that it was because people wanted it that way. Now, the Chargers throwback uniforms, the powder blues, those are fire. Those are arguably one of the
powder blue, baby blue, powder blue, UNC blue, and yellow always go well together.
It looks so good, especially with the Thunderbolt. So good. So that hyping that up is good because that's a great jersey. But the Eagles throwback Kelly Green jerseys, they're ugly. They're just ugly. And I whenever I say it, I bring it up, I always catch fire. People backlash on me. No, this is the best uniform. It's really not. It's really not. Now, here's my idea. This is what I would do. All right. Okay. And I've said this for years. And I know Chrome, when we've talked about jerseys before, Chrome disagrees with me. Chrome, who is in Florida again, by the way, guys. He is over in Disney, second time in a month. So when we've talked about jerseys before, Chrome loves the Kelly Greens. He just loves it. My idea, if it was up to me and designing the Eagles' primary uniform, I would do a color scheme where it would be mostly black with Kelly Green accents. Because when you see merchandise, right, and you see black with the Kelly Green, they complement each other so well because you got the dark black, obviously, and then the Kelly Green, they contrast, and Kelly Green pops up even more. Yo, the two of those together, if you were to make a uniform with those two colors, and even if you have it a 50-50 split, I would do mostly black with with accents of Kelly Green. But even if you're 50, even if you were to do it 50-50, I still think that would look like the best jersey. I've been saying for now 10 plus years the Eagles need a new jersey. They need a new uniform. And I would redesign everything. I wouldn't go flat on the flashy route. I think a lot of these teams, they redesign their jerseys and their jerseys look horrible. No, I want to keep it simple and clean. But man, a black jersey with Kelly Green, that would look so good. That would look so good on pop. And then you take the helmet, right? You take the helmet, you redesign the wings. You keep wings on the helmet, obviously, but you redesign the wings where I would have a matte black helmet, but then the Kelly Green wings. Oh, that would pop. That would absolutely pop. So
because I'm looking at the picture of the helmet now, like the helmet had the Kelly Green and it had the silver wings around it, but the logo itself was just on the hats, and they use that. That's why I said the logo with the spread eagle with the football and his talons. That's it's just amazing. But the actual helmet itself, I kind of like the helmet too, because it just accentuate that. Like that's the one thing I'll say about the Kelly Green. It had eagle aspect in it and all, like not so, but it wasn't like right now with the midnight green. You had the eagle itself on the logo. Like you could kind of tell with the Kelly Green helmet, like that was eagle's wings. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it was way more subtle. I like the black idea. I like the accent with the Kelly Green. I actually, the one thing about the all black alternates we have now that I don't like is I don't like the fact that we put the striping on the side.
I don't like that either. Yeah, I don't like that.
I wish it was like the Ravens. The Ravens just have clear all black.
All black, yeah.
All black. That's it.
Yeah, I would too. I would give it that stripe too. And I like the fact Rick alone brings up he's hyped to see the black helmet with the all black. I think that's awesome too. I want to see how they do that. I think it's great. The midnight green helmet always looked out of place with the all black. So yes. I want to see how that all black helmet does. But I like I said, I've always been the all black uniforms have been my favorite.
So Frank Vespi is double?
I would try to answer without writing a novel. Okay. He says, I like the idea of Kelly Green uniform, but the midnight green is such a unique color. If there was a way to make double green look like that's the route I see the Eagles update their look. Hard to believe we had the midnight green for almost 30 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. It's
when he says make double green look great, like what? Yeah. Frank, you are. If people don't know behind the scenes, when we do like graphics and video packages and kind of thumbnails and stuff, that's a lot of that is Frank Vespi's vision. So Frank, when you say make double green, have at it, sir. I'm curious to see how it comes out.
Didn't the Seahawks do similar? Like they had like the same color in two shades with their one uniform. Didn't they have two different types of green?
But see, was it green or was it the blue?
I don't know. I'm partially colorblind, so like I can't tell certain shades. Like, so I really don't know. Yeah,
that may lead into our no huddle topic. That may explain something.
What's that going to explain anything with our no huddle topic? And sight and taste.
The orange color pops more.
Rick says I like the midnight green stripe on the side, but I think all black pants would be sweet too. Yeah, I think it just looks cleaner if you have all black.
Maybe like an all black, and then on the actual shoulder, like you had the eagle and the wings wrap around the shoulder. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And Vespi says he'll get back to me back to you on that. Book it. So we'll be talking about it. And I wish the NFL, Frank, he may or may not use colored pencils.
This guy.
What I wish the league would do, and I don't understand this. You alluded to it, about making money and everything like that. I hate how the NFL limits the number of uniform combinations a team can have. Like, look at the NBA. Like, how many jerseys, how many uniforms and jerseys and designs do the Sixers have? They have so many. Like,
And I mean, I love the spectrum, but I miss red, white, and blue. I will tell you that from the rip.
uh-huh.
I miss the home white jerseys. I do. I really do. I don't know. I mean, listen, once again, I love the spectrum. Spectrum been going almost as long as my kids has been alive. So I mean,
Yeah, that was what, 2000.
and when I first saw it, it was cool. But I'm like, is that their standard? I think that's their standard home uniform now, even with the court.
Is it really? I know they were wearing it the other day.
If anybody that, when's the last time the Sixers had a home game and wore a white jersey?
I don't know. But yeah, like Joe and Rick bring up what I was gonna say. Like, look at the NCAA. Look at Oregon. Like, they both talk about it. Look at Oregon, and they have so many different uniforms, like one each week. But if the NFL would just let teams have that option to do that, to me, I don't care what you put out certain weeks. Like, you want to put out an ugly Kelly Green uniform one week, go right on ahead, because I know that it's not a permanent thing. Like, I just wish the NFL wouldn't be so strict with that stuff. And then I'm sure there's a reason why they do it, but I have a hard time believing that the reason why they do it is a legit enough reason or a good enough.
And to take your thought a step further, it's not so much why they limit the number of uniform combinations you can have. They limit the number of games you can wear them. I don't like, it should be up to the team's discretion of when they can wear them. Like, why should you only get, what did they get it, like twice a season?
Two times a season, I think.
They get to wear an alternate, and then they get to wear a throwback.
Like, why?
And I'm like, why? Like, how? I mean, I get it. You have to think big picture. So, like, the merchandise that they went out for next year, 2023, is already purchased and ordered. Like, a lot of big things like that. Like, so I play golf a lot. Like, the golf clubs that are coming out next season now are finally going to production. Like, they're wrapped, sealed, signed, and delivered. Like, those purchase orders have already happened. So I get it. You don't want to get behind schedule. So it's very hard to do things on a fly by the seat of your pants. It's not like what we do for Philly drinkers when we come out with different shirts. Chucks has an idea for Running Backs Matter. 2 weeks later, he has a shirt. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did. But
yeah,
it's a lot more red tape, a lot of more money involved behind the scenes. So
yeah, it really is. I just it sucks that they want to be so strict with it. And Rick, let's say, like, the Nike headquarters is around the corner in Oregon.
Phil Knight went to Oregon. So, I mean, like, that's the reason why some of the, like, and also I'm a sneakerhead. So some of the most expensive Jordans out there are Oregon PE editions. Like, I'm talking, Chucks, if you have 5 pairs of these and you sold them all, you probably could put a nice down payment on the house and wipe away all your debt. I'm dead serious. Yeah, I'm dead serious.
I believe you. It's absolutely crazy. Well, even if you talk about Nike, this is my last and final thought in terms of uniforms, and we're turning over to the second quarter. But I really don't like what Nike has done with the NFL uniforms as the official what do you call it? Official retailer? No, official, like, how do you word it? The lights.
It's like the official apparel partner.
Apparel, yeah. Like, I don't like they remember when they tried the whole color rush thing on Thursday nights?
Oh,
I think it was dumb.
So I mean, I never knew he was partially colorblind until today. I feel like Chris Rock didn't know about Jada Smith. Yeah, I had to go there. Don't come across the screen and slap me, please. I'll fight back.
We might talk about that in no huddle,
but no. So, like, for you, did that affect you at all?
Not really. Like, it's not. I'm not colorblind to the point where it hurts. I just literally can't, certain shades I can't see. Like, apparently, so I had this dress shirt. I work at a bank, and we always have to wear, like, dress up. Obviously, we wear dress shirts. I had this one dress shirt. I always thought it was like a dark green, right? I bought it. I thought it was dark green. I'm like, oh, okay, dark green, but it looks good. It's like I usually in my closet, I wear black and gray. But then if there's another color that's a dark neutral color, I wear it. So I got this one. It was on sale. I was like, dark green, it looks good. So I wore it to work one day during, like, it was close to Christmas, and everyone's like, you can wear red or green. So I wore it. And my coworker's like, why are you wearing gray? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what? Isn't this dark green? He's like, no, that's gray. And I'm like, geez. And another, I can't tell the difference between a I guess navy blue and purple. Like I have the hardest time.
Ooh.
I have the hardest time. So it's like it's
So
not
remember when that picture came out with the dress, you was fucked.
Yo, here's the thing. So with that, you know how you had one side said what? What was the one it said gold and what?
One side, I think that side was blue or some shit. It was like a
Gold
darker
and blue?
color.
Yeah, so one side said hypothetically, I could be wrong, but like say just one side said it was gold and blue. The other side said it was white and something else.
Mhm.
I legit, no lie, when I saw the dress, I thought it was blue and white. So I saw one color that one side was seeing and one color the other side was seeing, and I thought that's what the dress was. I was like right in the middle. So like that really is. I'm partially colorblind, where I can't tell different shades of stuff. It's just weird, and it's something I just noticed years ago. But
I mean,
anyway, tangents. But yeah, no, I don't like what Nike has been doing with the NFL uniforms. I really, really wish it's not going to happen. I really wish they would give the license to Under Armour, because if you see what Under Armour has done with their college jerseys, and even in high school, Under Armour uniforms are so nice. They're so nice.
and it's like you said, it's just Under Armour obviously not being like a second-rate company, but it just I don't think it has the reach and the clout that.
No,
Nike
it doesn't. And like it's still behind. It's still behind Nike. Still behind Adidas. It'll probably always be around that second tier. So it'll never happen. But
unless they just come in with a really fucking low offer
yeah,
to do it, and then NFL can really get them to do it for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I mean they've risen a lot because look at their athletes they have now. I mean, you have Tom Brady, who's a GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
They have Joel Embiid.
Steph Curry.
They have Steph Curry. So I mean, they've come a long way, and plus The Rock. The Rock is like their flagship, spokesperson. So they have the good stuff, but like, they're always going to be behind Nike and Adidas. But they do some great things, and I think their football jerseys and uniforms are simple. They're sharp. They're good. I would like to see what they would do with the NFL uniforms, but it'll never happen. So, anything else regarding the uniforms?
Greg had to be the crumb. Well, I can't say he had to be the crumb, but his take does not surprise me at all. knowing him, it does not surprise me.
Knowing him, classic Greg. All right, so that leaves it for the first quarter. Pete, what we got for the second quarter?
Second quarter is brought to you by BetUS, leading online sportsbook who has been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link that you see right there, right on cue, for a 125% sign-up bonus when your first deposit, I believe, is $100 or more. Even if you still get a bonus, it's just not $125 when you deposit $100 or less when you originate your account. Okay, and they do have great customer service. I will say that I can attest it. So I've had to use them. And Masters are next week, so a lot of stuff to bet on. Final Four this weekend. Get in where you fit in. The HCD membership is still out there. Holla at Money Nate, Money Moss Nate. So and what do you call himself? Willie Vegas?
Willie Vegas.
Casino Willie? It sounds like somebody you meet in the back of an alley.
Right.
Hey, let's go
in Vegas.
In Vegas. Yeah, who got the juice, man? Look, you're gonna walk past that alley. When you get to the third alley with the pink building and make a left, you're gonna holler at Willie Vegas. Knock on the door 2 times.
But don't go too far. You go too far, you're in trouble.
We also shit like knock on the door 2 times, kick it once, and then turn the handle.
Anyway, so we got a few big news items in the league today. So let's start off with, of course, we're gonna start with the Eagles stuff. I feel like they signed one free agent a week, so we can talk specifically about just one free agent. So they signed Kyzir White former linebacker of the Chargers, 26 years old. He's a solid guy. He's a solid player. I remember looking at him a little bit during the season. I was like, yeah, he's pretty solid. He's converted safety. I remember when he came out of the draft. So I'm fine with the signing. I don't know how anyone could hate the signing if you're just looking at the one signing. So now, do I think this is going to really affect anything in terms of the Eagles' draft plans? No, I don't think so. I think that if anything, if you're going to say it changes anything, the most I'd say is they're probably not going to choose a linebacker in the first round, which isn't anything.
Which was a long shot anyway.
Long shot anyway. So this maybe just is the icing on the cake to confirm that. Because now they have depth. If they look at White and Edwards, or White and possibly Davion Taylor, as kind of like, hey, they're gonna jockey for the starting job. Possibly, I think they would be worse. Like if it had to come down to that, I think they'd be okay. I still think they're gonna draft a linebacker on day 2, but we'll see. I don't think it really affects too much what their draft plan was going to be. But what do you think of the signing? Like, did you watch any of them?
I didn't watch him. I know when we interviewed Uchenna Nwosu last year, he talked about him as another player that's up and coming. But now, since he was signed, once it happened, and I saw where he was at, that was his best year, and where his age is, that's kind of that sweet spot to where how he likes to go. Once the first wave of free agency hits, this has obviously he just retired. You know what I mean? And I think he was a little bit. All right, I wouldn't go that far, but this guy may retire because I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But like, remember the Rodney McLeod signing? Kind of somebody who was in the same, had his good year, coming off his rookie deal. And I think they signed him around the same age. Obviously, Rodney McLeod was worth some more money. But this kind of gives me that same vibe to where he starts to play well, maybe through 10 games, you see a 2-year contract extension. You know what I mean? So, but now when you got Edwards, you got Taylor, you got White, and now you got Reddick as well. I mean, I don't think the linebackers are a weakness like they were last year, just on paper.
Yeah.
So far. And I'm just taking a look at the free agents that are left. As far as the linebacker, obviously we know Bobby Wagner went to the Rams today.
Bobby Wagner. Yep. We'll touch on that in a second, but yeah, he's off the board. So any Eagles
I don't know.
fans,
Did Anthony Barr sign anywhere yet?
I don't remember reading anything.
That's what I'm really trying to find out.
Yeah. I mean, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Now I forget what I was gonna say.
Younger than me and forget.
Yeah, I know. I'm also kind of distracted because the Sixers are only up by 1 with 6.5 minutes left. And I'm like, come on, we can't lose this game. But anyway,
how much time is left?
6.5.
I mean, they got 8 games left. 6, 7, 7 after tonight.
Is it 7 after tonight?
They're 40. I want to say 40,
I thought it was 6, but
47 and 28. I think they're 47. I'm finding out right now. 47, 28.
They're losing. But anyway, Joe says Stephon
46 and 29. So yeah, they got after tonight they got 7 games left.
Okay.
But so tonight, including tonight, after tonight they'll have 6.
Yeah, that's what. Okay. So I was right. After tonight they'll have 6 games left.
They'll have 6. Yeah.
Okay. But this is supposed to be one of the easy games, and you can't lose this one. As Harden gets fouled. Stephon Gilmore. Joe says Stephon Gilmore would be great CB2. I would take Stephon Gilmore on a 1-year deal. Absolutely. Patrick Peterson signed with the Vikes. He's staying there, so he's off the table. But I know that was it that Stephon Gilmore's wife said that the Eagles had inquired?
No,
or was that someone else?
Someone had said there's an open. No, somebody has tagged him or tagged her about Stephon Gilmore, and she said there's an open spot in Philly. It was like she was replying to somebody,
Oh, gotcha.
or she was quote tweeting or something like that. It wasn't like it wasn't truly organic.
Got it. Okay. I know someone asked. Please talk about. Someone was asking. Please talk about the best linebacker options. I mean,
And free agency that's left.
maybe in general. There you go. Kenneth O'Donnell asks. Please chat about the best linebacker options.
I mean, you
At
got
this
Joe
point-
Schobert. Anthony Barr is still available. Kyle Van Noyes is still available.
But Barr would be he would be just the same type of role as Reddick, though. Like I wouldn't consider him an off-ball linebacker, which is what you kind of need.
Dante Hightower still available. But Dante Hightower I think he's the epitome of Belichick system linebacker.
Yeah.
I don't know where else he fits.
Yeah, he struggled when he left. So
Landon Collins is still available.
Landon Collins, a converted safety. Landon Collins.
Safety, yeah, they got him safety / linebacker.
I mean, it looks like slim pickings. I mean, I think that the Eagles free agent linebacker acquisition was White. I think that like if they were going to sign anyone, it's going to be him. So I really don't think they're going to bring in anyone else. Now, what I worry about is I think that there is like over the past several years, every single offseason, we bring in Pistons just hit a 3. We always bring in a linebacker signed to a 1-year deal who's supposed to be young, who's supposed to be like this. Oh, it's a solid acquisition. I mean, last year it was Eric Wilson. The year before that, it was I can't the guy who ended up signing with the Ravens. The year before that, it was but you know what I mean. Like we always sign a linebacker who's supposed to be solid and never pans out. So the people have brought that up, and so like it's a trend that is definitely a cause for concern, and you want to keep that in mind and not like you want to be like, okay, like what if he doesn't work out? Because absolutely that could happen.
Yeah,
it's possible he might not work out. So I think that they have to kind of look at a linebacker in the draft, probably on day 2. Now, beyond Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd, who are the top 2, now you get into a free fall because those are the top 2. You're talking about they're going to be gone or most likely in the first round. So, I don't know. I haven't studied any other linebackers really, so I don't know of any. But that's how I see it. I think that they're going to be looking on day 2 for one, unless if they really believe Davion Taylor is going to be that guy, which I think he just needs to stay healthy.
I mean, that's it because he finally started to get it a little bit. You know, I haven't touched really linebackers that much. I usually say linebackers kind of like when I say touch what Chucks does and what I do, a little bit different. Chucks dives in like you think he is Greg Louganis. You know what I mean? That's I'm just a little. I'm in the shallow side of the pool, my feet in the water, sitting on the step, just waddling. You know what I mean? Just there treading water. But yeah, I usually don't even do that. Probably till like I say the second, because linebackers are one of those things to where really all these kids that get drafted is kind of scheme dependent, right? Somewhat scheme dependent. There's few players that can be talent. Their talent is so great that the scheme doesn't matter. They'll have success to a point. Like, all right, like for a primary example, Deebo Samuel, I think he'd have been a good player, regardless of where he went. But with Kyle Shanahan, he's what Percy Harvin should have been. You know what I mean? He's a superstar. So that kind of, but I think he would have been good anywhere he went. it's kind of the same thing. With linebackers, is kind of hard. Like I'll give you one of the linebackers I wanted to get last year in the second round was Nick Bolton, second or third round, day 2, day 3. And he went to Kansas City, got with Steve Spagnuolo, had an impactful season. I couldn't tell him and Melvin Ingram apart because the fucking bitches look just alike as far as skin tone and dread. I was like, who the fuck am I looking at? But no, somebody like that. So I'll get into linebackers more. But just as far as free agents, out of linebackers, the left, Schobert, Barr, Van Noy. Van Noy might not be bad, but it's just different. It's just like it depends on that position what you want. And I think what we have now with the linebacker position, I think they may be set unless Anthony Barr. If I'm gonna take a flyer, anybody, I'll probably be Anthony Barr. Joe Schobert's just been beat up the past 2 or 3 years. Now, if you ask me about safety and cornerback, that's where I need to see something like this.
Oh God.
Every week that goes by, Honey Badger price goes up and up and up. I mean, that's where I seen Tremaine Edmonds. Was it Terrell Edmonds?
Terrell Edmonds.
His name.
Tremaine's the linebacker. Yeah. Terrell Edmonds is. I don't know. I can't imagine. Like, I know people like Marcus Epps, but come on, like they
really like him, man. They really like him.
He's a third safety. Like I need something else, but I don't know. Maybe they'll draft someone high, or early, and he'll be slated in a starter. But I mean, do you really rely on that? I would like another signing, just to me, cornerback and safety are still the positions that are glaring holes on this team that I would feel more comfortable if they addressed before the draft. They added another guy. Like I just feel like you can't go into the draft as is at those positions. So I mean I hope Gilmore could be had, or Gilmore or Honey Badger. I would take either one of them at this point. And the Sixers are about to lose. They're down by 8 with 3 minutes left.
They out here balling.
There are so many turnovers, man. Come on. It's pitiful. But I mean, that's all I have to say about the Eagles. I don't know if you got anything else to say about the Kyzir White.
I mean, not so much about Kyzir White. It's just really, I like what they're doing. I mean, obviously, all right, so we'll hit on this. The Derek Barnett numbers came out, $13 million for over 3 years. My, how the mighty has fallen. So I think that's a perfect value for, I wouldn't even say value. It's just kind of like the Eagles did him a favor.
Yeah. And then there's not much guaranteed to that.
No. Yeah. No, this goes to show you what the rest of the league thinks of him. So Cade Cunningham just shoulder tackled James Harden, and there was no call. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. But here's the thing. Like, I'm getting so tired of Joel and Harden looking for so many calls all the damn time.
Play through contact.
Like, play through contact, get back on defense, stop. Like I get it. You're trying to draw a foul, and that's fine. But if you don't get the call
on this possession right here, Kelly Olynyk on him, I'm probably like 10 seconds behind you. So I just seen Kelly Olynyk knock the ball out. And based on your reaction, we did some stupid shit.
Yeah, Maxey turned it over. Oh, but
I don't know if I'm looking at Chucks or Grayson throwing a fit.
God. Same thing. One other thing I want to talk about NFL related before we switch it over. The NFL changed the playoff overtime rules, man.
Yes. Now they haven't released details on how they're doing it, right? All right, but they said each team is going to get one possession.
Yeah, one possession from what we know. Those are details.
Don, we're not going to beat the Pistons.
Yeah, we're going to lose to the Pistons.
I hope they give everybody in their day old Detroit pizza too good.
Yeah, we're falling. We're going to end up with the 4th seed. Watch.
It's because it's tight all over.
We're separated. We're all separated by like half a game, something like that. So, anyways, sorry, off track. But yeah, overtime rules have changed. Each team now gets a possession. I think it was the right move, especially after the playoff performance that you had between Mahomes and Allen. And I know we touched on this months ago after that game, the show after that game. But oh my God, we're down by 13. That's game over. I'm turning this off,
bro. This was what I was saying Tuesday. Like Sixers was up most of this game. When it comes to the fourth quarter, everybody in the Sixers get a deer in headlights look, bro. No matter who the opponent is, I can stomach you losing to the Bucks, right? That's the defending champion. But this team here, I mean, they playing with a lot. They season over with in about 2 weeks, But at the same time, like Sixers have some heart.
Yeah,
have some heart, bro.
You just lost to the Bucks. You would think that they'd come out on fire. Like
not in this chat. I will kick you out.
Shit. Anyways, not talking Sixers right now. I think it was the right move. Yeah. I know there are people out there that believe, just play defense. Yeah, but it's not that simple. So both teams shouldn't be forced to play defense at least once. So I like this move, and I'm good with it just being for playoffs. Like, to me, that's a compromise. Like, all right, you're just changing it for the playoffs and not keeping it for the regular season. To me, that's fine. That's fine. So I think that was a good move by the NFL. I think it was also kind of predictable. People saw it coming, especially when you have huge superstar names like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen attached to that game. You can't have that again. Can't have that happen again. Any thoughts on the overtime rules?
No, I mean, like you said, you pretty much gives everybody an opportunity, and it's just a year too late. Well, hopefully, that's the thing. Like they do this rule now, right? And you bank on trying to have a similar postseason this upcoming season, like you just had, and it probably won't happen. You know what I mean? You probably won't find that again. Like those games,
you won't.
You know what I mean? That seasons like that don't happen that often. They're very few and far between. Yeah. 23-4 run in the last 6 minutes.
We've seen stuff like that. I mean, like in the playoffs before, and so like, here's the thing: the times that it does happen in the playoffs, they stick out to you. So like, obviously the Patriots Falcons Super Bowl, right? You have there was a game between, I feel like Aaron Rodgers and was it the Packers and Cardinals, where Aaron Rodgers threw a Hail Mary and then the Cardinals got first ball, something like that. That was another memorable game where Rodgers never saw the field. I mean, like, you have these memorable playoff games that came down to overtime that I would have preferred this rule have been implemented. So it's, even if they are few and far between, you don't see them. It is also better to have it in place for when it does happen. So I think it's the right move. Put on the NFL.
It almost had to be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it almost had to be done.
Anything else besides that? I mean, like, that's like the biggest news. We talked about Bobby Wagner signing with the Rams. I mean, I don't know how.
I mean, if you want to get into the Bruce Arians stepping down, kind of, or stepping away from coaching.
Stepping away from coaching, going to the front office.
Going to the front office. Todd Bowles named the head coach.
I thought that was a commendable move by Arians to make sure he elevated Bowles, and Bowles was also in a situation where he had a good team around him. He was in a good situation. He didn't set him up to fail. So I really gain respect for Arians like that.
A part of me wishes, and if Todd Bowles wasn't the defense coordinator, I think if it was anybody else, that's a good block. A part of me wishes that they would have gave it to Leftwich instead.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They gave it, but you can't. If you got Bowles and Leftwich as your coordinators, Bowles has done it. Maybe paving the way for Leftwich ultimately to take over. But yeah.
No, I hear you. I mean, I was wondering that too. If Leftwich would have gotten it, I was thinking Leftwich would have gotten it, but I don't have a problem with Bowles getting it.
Right.
Carson Wentz says Brady is the head coach. Let's be real.
I mean, on the field between the whistle, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I mean, like that team runs. Like I feel like with everybody coming back, that team kind of runs itself. You know what I mean? It's almost like the Barry Switzer when he coached Dallas. Like that team coached itself.
Yep.
They know what they do. You know what I mean? With Brady back, they know what they do. They don't have to do nothing.
Agreed. All right. Anything else for second quarter?
No.
You want to touch on? Cool. Let's roll into the third quarter. Second quarter we don't have much to talk about, and there's been a slower news week in the NFL. But with that being said, you know what's not slowing down is draft talk. So let's get into draft talk in the third quarter, which is brought to you by SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Our doc, Paul Vidal, he's got 2 locations, Burlington and Cherry Hill, so make them yours. SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. All right, listeners, if you've got any questions, takes, anything draft related, bring them up now. I will leave this off.
You want to talk about your video today?
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to talk about that, but
why?
that wasn't what I was thinking. We can talk about that if you want to talk about that. So I've put out now 4 videos of 4 film breakdown videos on A2D social media. So if you haven't checked those out, check them out. I did Isaiah Spiller, Kyron Williams, Breece Hall, and then today I released Kenneth Walker, who is my number one running back, my RB1 by a hair over Breece Hall. So I love Kenneth Walker. And if you have the patience and the time and the interest to watch my film breakdown, go watch it. I show you why exactly I love Breece Hall so much. My scouting report is also attached to that. So you see my projection on him, and like there's just I was messaging Pete and Jake in our little chat that we have, and I was telling them when I was writing out the evaluation report, the scouting report, I was like, there's really no weaknesses for Walker. I had to adjust my spreadsheet because I was like, I only need 1 line for weaknesses, but I need so much more for all his strength section. So I had to take out lines from weaknesses and add them to the strength section because there was just too much. So it's really crazy, but it's not to say he's a perfect prospect, right. But when you break down his game, there's no glaring weakness, which is something that when you see, it's like, wow, that's awesome because everything he does is at least solid. It's at least solid or good. So, man, Walker is I don't know if I don't want to put this much hype on him because I'm worried about where he's going to go. And part of me is still hoping he goes to the Eagles in the second round. But I don't remember liking a running back this much since Miles and since Kareem Hunt. Like, Walker is in that type of conversation. Like, guys that I really like. There are guys each year in each running back class that I will say, oh, no, I like these guys the most. And I'll pound the table for them. But it's not often that I see a prospect that I'm absolutely, like, falling in love with. And so Walker I think, has entered that type of conversation.
Frank is ridiculous.
What's he saying? Okay, I tried something on the double green. Yikes on bikes. Back to the chalkboard. Oh, my God. So I am holding out hope for Kenneth Walker on the Eagles. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not going to get my hopes up. It's not like back in 2019 where I really got excited because I thought it was very possible we could get Miles because we desperately needed a running back. But now, Miles is still on his last year, so I don't see them.
I actually think they probably can do a free agent signing with the running back position. I'm waiting to see if they do it.
Yeah,
but I could definitely see them being in on somebody like a Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Maybe a 1 year deal.
Yeah, something like that, and which is fine. I mean, I don't think there's anyone out there right now that's better than Miles.
Nah, but compliment.
So yeah, but you haven't been complimented. That's fine.
This dude, he says, Sixers fans, what happened?
We suck. That's what happened. Anyways, Jesse Davis says best run teams in the NFL always have the top O lines, not necessarily running backs. And hey, like that's not incorrect. So like in terms of a running game, you need a dominant O line, obviously.
Yep.
But let's also be careful because just because you have a dominant O line doesn't mean that an elite or high end running back can't make a huge difference. So let's put it this way. If you can have a dominant O-line, and if you have like a solid running back or two or committee behind them, you're going to run the ball effectively. You're always going to run the ball. But when you input a top-end talent, like an elite talent or a great talent in the backfield as a running back, that's when you have someone who can make things happen on their own and make the difference. And when you have an elite running back who can create on their own, that also gives you a little bit of leeway if you don't have a good O-line. So if your O-line isn't great and it's say like average or just above average,
right,
a talented running back can make up for that because a talented running back can create on their own in certain ways that a less talented running back can't.
Like for me, I think Kenneth Walker to the Eagles would be a luxury pick.
It's a luxury pick, and that's why I'm not holding out hope. I don't think.
Yeah, it's a luxury pick.
Yeah, it's a luxury.
It's definitely a luxury pick. I mean, I think I know. I kind of got an idea. I wouldn't be surprised where they go in the first round. I see all these mocks saying Devin Lloyd, Nakobe, like that. I would be completely flabbergasted. I would be Glenn Rivers in the fourth quarter in Detroit tonight, shocked if they draft a Devin Lloyd or Nakobe Dean, one of those three picks in the first round.
Yeah.
I'd
be shocked.
I got a sneaky one up. I'm pretty sure one of us going to be a lineman. I know that either defensive, maybe or offensive.
Yeah.
If one of like a Charles Cross slips, Ikwadu's not going to be there. But if like a Trevin Penning is there still, somebody like that, maybe if somebody wants to come up that high for Tyler Linderbaum, maybe. But
so, here we go. So let's talk about this. Well, actually, bookmark that real quick. I want to just get to what Jesse Davis is saying about running backs real quick. He says, I understand that. I was just saying I'd rather have a first-round lineman and a fourth-round back rather than vice versa. And that's that's perfectly fine. You can get – I always say, and I said it last week, I always say the best value for running backs is day two because you have all this first-round or top-end talent that falls because the value of the running back isn't as high. So they fall to round 2 and 3, and now you're getting high-end talent on day 2. So that's why day 2 is my favorite day of the draft because I believe that the talent overall, not just running back, the talent in rounds 2 and 3 are awesome, but you're getting them at the best value. So I'd love that. And he says, I want Brian Robinson Jr. Great, there's great value in him. I think Brian Robinson I grade him as a round 3 pick, a third round pick. I think he's going to go in the third round. I like Brian Robinson.
There's somebody who I like more than Brian Robinson, and he's JT Light.
You gave him that name because of what I told him about it.
But he looked like he looked like his little brother.
He looks like him, and the guy you're talking about is Tyler Algier.
Yep.
So BYU. What I will say is when I scouted him initially, it was before the combine. And I'm not gonna lie, his combine testing and all that was a little disappointing. So I had to go back and I had to watch him again. And I can kind of see that. I can kind of see that Algier doesn't have as great of top end speed. But I still think when you watch this guy run, for a thickly built guy who's built very similar to Jonathan Taylor. His burst is good. Like, and he can get into that second and third level, and he can run. Like, I still think there's not a lot of people out there that think he has that extra gear. I think when he's playing on the field, he has an extra gear. That's personally me. Maybe I'm wrong,
Right.
but I see someone with pull away speed who can get in a second level and run away from linebackers and run away from certain defensive backs. So I think he's a poor man's version of Jonathan Taylor. Very similar. They're thickly built. They don't have great agility and quickness, but they're tough, good contact balance, good straightforward speed, like I said, and similar kind of issues with catching the ball and fumbling coming out, but I think that will be corrected. So I like Al-Jair. I gave him a 3rd round grade too, but I think based on other people that I've seen, I'm higher on him than a lot of other evaluators. So, I mean, we'll see where he ends up. But I do like Al-Jair.
I'm looking through my screen. I can see my dog, and he just ate some shit off the floor, and I don't know what it is.
Oh God, there you go. Jason Fagan says, "I know this isn't a Sixers show, but wow, tonight, yeah, we're pretty upset. We're pretty upset. Oh God." And Jesse says, "I just like Robinson Jr. and Gainwell and Scott. He kind of gives a good change up. Yeah, he does. If you're going to move on from Miles after next season, Robinson and Gainwell would be a good complementary back or duo. All right. So what I was going to talk about, let's step aside from running back talk a little bit now, which is something you won't hear me say a lot. But Pete, you and I were listening in on our dear friend Jake Friel's Fan Friday show last week. And one of the hot topics that I chimed in on a lot was Tyler Linderbaum. And one of the hosts on there who's awesome. He's a good dude. But one of the things we ended up disagreeing on was he doesn't think that the Eagles should draft Tyler Linderbaum in the 1st round if he were to fall. And I was like, why not? Like, yeah. I'm not saying you absolutely take him over like a Jordan Davis or a Wyatt. If you want to take one of them over Linderbaum, that's like, okay, sure, that's fine. But to me, if Linderbaum falls and on your board he's the best player available, why not take him in the 1st round? And we talked about this last week I know you weren't here, but I was on with Tom and Ryan. They were talking about it a little bit, and I would take Linderbaum and be fine with it. Like, there's this, you usually have your mindset that if whoever you take in the 1st round, they have to start, right? They usually have to be a starter. I think with Linderbaum, you kind of have an exception to the rule. I think that you take Linderbaum and everyone knows what he is. He's the heir apparent to Jason Kelce.
Right.
And everyone knows that Jason Kelce, this is most likely his last year. So even if you took him and he ended up sitting a season because Kelce plays and he doesn't get hurt, I think the fan base overall would still be okay with that because we all have this fear of losing out on Jason Kelce. We all were worried that
I haven't seen what did we replace that with?
Yeah, what do you like? He's such a unicorn at center that like Stoutland isn't going to be able to do all the things he can do without Kelce there. He does so having Kelce there allows Stoutland to do so many things in the running game in the past. Like it's amazing all the things he can draw because of what Jason Kelce can do. Without him there, there's not much like a lot of that has to be scaled back. But if you have Linderbaum, you have someone who is like one of the best center prospects to come out in recent years. And you wouldn't, I wouldn't say like it's guaranteed that you wouldn't miss a beat, but like you are sure that, hey, we have a high-end talent waiting in the wings when Kelsey leaves. So I don't see how you can be upset with taking Linderbaum in the first round if he's there and available. He's the best player available. I don't see how that's an upsetting pick. I just don't see it. I think also you could tell him, hey, compete at guard. Let's see what you do. Like if you want to
Well,
go in the
and
camp,
that's the key.
compete at
Where does
guard.
Sayamalo coming at?
Exactly. So if you want to compete with Isaac at guard, then compete. And if you win it, hey, you've upgraded the starter. You upgraded one of your starter spots. So he's the first person that I heard say that. And I was like, that's very odd. Now I'm sure there are other people that think the same as him. And I respect where they're coming from. And one of the things he was saying was that, like, hey, we have Jeff Stoutland. He turns all these like later round prospects into gold, which is absolutely true. But the thing is, not every prospect you take is going to be turned into gold. Like you don't see Nate Herbig come in, step in, and be an all-star guard. You know, it doesn't work out for every single prospect. And the chances of you hitting on a prospect late are just lower, regardless of who you have as your coach.
You saying could be said hitting on a prospect in the first round. I mean, I don't know why Andre Dill is still here. To be honest with you, I don't know if we can't get anything for him or whatever. But at this point, you just got to take what you can, especially if they draft somebody like Linderbaum.
Yeah,
you're just adding another high end piece, ceiling piece. You know, we sit here and talk about Sam. Like right now, if you had to line up 5, you're going to go probably. You're going to go Malata, Dickerson, Kelsey.
Who's that right guard? I had put it at Malata, Isaac, Kelsey.
You go Dickerson
at right, and then Lane. That's how I had put it. I mean, if you want to switch out Isaac and Dickerson, fine. I don't care, but that's pretty much what you're looking.
I mean, either way, you're strong on both sides. You know, that's a solid. That's an above average to elite offensive line.
Yep, exactly. Jake chimes in and says the only thing I've ever disagreed on with Todd is his take on Linderbaum. Exactly. And Jesse Davis says best talent available regardless of position. Linderbaum is one of the best talents in this draft. It's a no-brainer. Exactly. So Yusuf does ask, are you guys going to play him at guard his first year, then moving to center if you drafted him? I would have him compete. Like I said, I would have him compete for guard, and if he wins it, which I think I wouldn't be surprised. But if he doesn't win it, I still think it's a good pick because of the situation. You know, it's not just black and white all the time. The Eagles are in a specific situation where they pretty much know their future Hall of Fame center is on his last year of his career. You need to be able to supplant him when the time comes and have someone ready. So that's the route I would go. Or that's how I feel. I'm not saying he has to be the pick. I'm just saying I would still be ecstatic if he was. He says, Yusuf says, I feel like you guys are going to move London Dickerson to center next year. Possibly. If we don't draft Linderbaum, I've been hearing that Dickerson is the future center. So that's probably in the plan. That's probably what, as of right now, it's probably what it is. Any more questions? Anything else you wanted to bring? Oh, hold on. Well, I'll ask you first. Anything else, Lady, you wanted to bring up before I get into
the Eagles can go in so many different directions, even with the holes that they have and the lack of activity on free agency up until this point, because the draft is still exactly 4 weeks away. They can go a lot. They can go CB. They can go defensive line. They can go wide receiver, and they can go quarterback. Like, listen, if they don't find what they want, right? If they don't find you, and somebody said this to me, just because you look at this draft and you say, okay, well, this isn't the draft. There's not top end quarterbacks in this draft compared to last year. If you still have a chance in somebody that you feel is an upgrade at the position and better than what you have now, fucking do it. You don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And you have 3 picks. Now you do that, and then that may take one of those picks, and you can, like, the willingness for people to punt a pick this year and forward it to next year. I don't know. It's hard for me. It was easier for me to digest the process with basketball because with basketball it's a little bit different. You know who the better player is going into the season. You know who the best teams are going to be. With football, there's so much uncertainty. To punt a year, I can't. Like, I'm having a hard time coming to grips with that, and just throwing that all in just for next year.
I hear what you're saying. It's
Right.
Understandable. I'm fine with it because even though, and my stance on Hurts, you already know I don't believe he's the answer. But the reason why I'm okay with it is because I'm willing to give him another year to prove me wrong, to prove everyone wrong. Because I think the guy is so easy to root for. I think he's a hard worker, and I think he's going to do whatever he can to keep improving and fixing his mistakes. So I kind of want to see how that goes, and I am hoping he proves me wrong because what if? And you can say how far-fetched this is. That's fine. But what if he does come out and lights it up next year as a passer? What if he shows drastic improvement to where
that's all well and good. I mean, you still can. I mean, once again, what I'm talking about is I saw Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis probably won't be there. Jermaine Johnson probably won't be there. Derek Stingley may fall into your lap. Sauce Gardner's not falling to your lap. Now, there's a lot of places I see where people got Trent McDuffie above Stingley now. So, you know what I mean? So they may have their pick of the litter. I will say this. I will pound the drum from now to the draft. I have no problem fucking drafting Jamison Williams. I'm trying to tell you.
I know you've been on that train.
I have no problem doing that at all. Nope. I have no problem because you need, and him and Devontae are similar, but they're just enough to be different to where Jamison he is like Devontae-esque, but taller, can do a little bit more on the outside. But I'm definitely open to that. Like I said, if they want to go quarterback, if they want to go Pickett, okay, I get it. But if they want to go Corral, that's who I'd rather have is Corral. For me personally, they could go lineman. Coming into this, I thought Jermaine Johnson was a lock to the Eagles at 15. I thought, okay, now I'm seeing him going top 10. You know what I mean? So, I can also see them taking Drake London as well if he's still on the board at 15. There's so many different ways because the talent at the offensive line position, and I think a lot of teams around the league are like, fuck, how do the Eagles get 6 or 7 deep? Bitch, we can't get 5. Most teams can't get 5, and we got like 6 or 7. You see what I'm saying? So it's like now teams are starting to put the emphasis because when I want to go back to say probably 6 months ago, it was Aiden Hutchinson wasn't even in the top, was not being considered. It was Stingley, Thibodeau, Sam Howell was still like one of the but mainly it was like Thibodeau was number 1 and Hamilton was up there, obviously. Now you fast forward 6 months later. Evan Neal was always up there, but Ifeanyi Okwanu, Charles Cross, Kenyon Green, Trevor Penny, Linderbaum, all these guys just out of nowhere. And it's like Jesse Davis said, now they're starting to realize, fuck that, forget that little niche pick, forget that little flashy pick. I need to build in the trenches. You feel what I'm saying? Because look at the Cincinnati Bengals. If the Cincinnati Bengals had somebody that can block Eric Donald for a half second longer, and Joe Burrow sees Jamar Chase, maybe it's a different team, different city having a parade. You see what I'm saying? So it's that stuff matters, and you're starting to see teams emphasize that. It's getting back to that. And I don't think you're going to see these wide receivers, these flashy skill position picks in the top 10 like we've been seeing lately. Now, it could be also due to the talent as well. Yeah. But also, I just think team strategies have changed as well.
Possibly. I mean, one thing that I keep reiterating is that no one ever knows. Like no one knows. Like this media, I can't say this enough. What the media puts out with these boards and these mocks is not what the teams have. Like, it drives me wild. It annoys me to no end when people will come out and say a pick will be made by a team, right? Not just the Eagles, anyone, any team will pick a player, and you'll have someone on social media say, "Oh, that was such a reach." ESPN didn't have them going until round 3. ESPN doesn't know jack shit compared. Like they don't know what these teams are looking at.
Yeah.
Just like you have every single media site and draft person having different rankings, different thoughts on players. It's the same thing with every team. They have different boards and they see different players. Every team has a different system. So what one team is looking at to fit their system isn't what another team is looking at. So, like a team like the Titans, if they were looking for a running back, right, per se, they're not going to be looking at the same running backs that a Kyle Shanahan and the Niners are going to be looking for. The Titans run a power scheme, whereas the Niners, they run outside zone. So you're not going to have them set their boards with running backs ranked the same way. It doesn't work like that. And so my point overall is that no one knows how the board is going to shape up. No one knows where people are going to go. Like for certain, like you can project, you have an idea, especially in the first round, because you know who the high end talent is. So out of anywhere, the first round is going to be chalk. It's the most chalk place because we all know it doesn't take a genius to kind of have an idea of who the top talents are, right? But once you get to like past those top tiers, those blue chip players, it's subjective. It's subjective. So, we could see these like you said, we could see these wide receivers fall. Teams could be putting more of an emphasis on different positions now, like in the trenches. And that kind of alludes to what I wanted to talk about earlier initially. There was a debate I had with a guy on Twitter. Good debate, but there's a trend talk going on right now, discussion of Kyle Hamilton, and because of his testing, they think he's going to fall. And to add, because he plays the safety position, there are certain people that think that he shouldn't be taken in the top 3 or top 5.
You talking about Kyle Hamilton?
Yeah, because if he plays safety, and safety to some isn't a position of value compared to other positions. I completely disagree with that. I don't know where
let everybody think that to where he falls to where the Eagles can give up one of their picks.
I say you want to have him fall. That's perfectly fine. Have him fall out of the top 14 gladly. But like I don't agree with the mindset that safety isn't important. I never understood that. Like especially in today's NFL with how you have safeties play the 2 high and the cover 4, cover 2. And you have so many safeties playing man-to-man coverage on guys in the slot. And Pete, remind me, is it all just what type of receivers play in the slot in today's game?
The best route runners.
Route runners, you have them all shapes and sizes. It's not just the Wes Welkers anymore. You've got
it's your best all-around receiver in most cases.
Because you're giving them a two-way go. Look at Cooper Kupp. Look at Justin Jefferson. Yep. Like, they play a lot of their stuff in the slot, and that's not a knock. We have to get this mindset that playing in the slot is a demeaning thing. It's not a demeaning thing. It's not. The slot is a starting position in the league now. Playing in the slot it's as meaningful or meaningless as someone playing on the outside. It's another position. It's another alignment. Doesn't mean anything in terms of value. So you have all these dangerous weapons playing in the slot. Well, guess who's playing in the slot to man on man against them? Guess who's playing man on man against these tight ends like Jason Kelsey and George Kittle and Mark Andrews and Darren Waller? It's safeties.
Mm-hmm.
Safeties have to come down and play in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones directing traffic on the back end. They're the ones who are playing deep and had to diagnose everything in front of them. So I never understood this mindset that safety is devalued. And it's even showing in contracts financially. If you go to theringer.com and you look for Ben Solak's latest article, he talks about Kyle Hamilton and why he is worth a top pick and why the safety position is getting more valued now in today's game. He breaks it down beautifully. So I don't agree with this whole mindset that Kyle Hamilton shouldn't be taken in the top 3 or 5 because he's a safety. That's outdated and short-sighted mindset. And I think safety is highly valuable in today's NFL. I really do think so.
I mean, that safety, that center fielder that you can have, all the multiple looks that you can have thrown at you by offensive coordinators, you need an athlete at that position. You know what I mean? Like you need somebody like Kyle Hamilton. Why do you think Marcus Williams got paid all that money? They're not out there growing on trees. Why do you think Tyrann Mathieu, even at his age of 30, still has his pick of teams that are still interested in him? He's just deciding where he wants to go. You know what I mean? So they're very few and far between. You know, I mean, and you look at, and maybe we got spoiled a little bit the last 15 or 20 years, because if you look at the safeties that we did have to enjoy and watch play, all of them made it to the Hall of Fame. Dawkins, Lynch, Reed, Palomalu. I mean, that's 4 right there. I can't think of another era of football that had 4 safeties make it to the Hall. Like within 10 to 12 years of not playing a game of football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That, and they're trying to get back to that. You know what I mean? Why Tracy Walker out of Detroit, sneaker, a sneaky one, sleeper. I'm so pissed Detroit re-signed because I thought he was going to hit the market.
I know.
He was going to hit the market.
Right, Don's listening.
Justin Reed as well.
Justin Reed.
I mean,
look at the Bengals. The Bengals
still out there though, right? And Jesse Bates didn't even get to free agency.
Yeah. The Bengals got to the Super Bowl because they had 2 really good and underrated safeties. Like they made plays for that defense. So
and they knew, like, Von Bell's a thumper, Jesse Bates a center fielder.
Yeah.
They knew. That's the one thing about this defense. I will say that. That's one thing I want to see. I want to be able to see the progression within the system and guys trust each other to where they know where they work as a unit. Exactly. When they work as a cohesive unit. Exactly. And a lot of times we say talk about these guys, well, let's give me this thing, let's give me that, but at the same time, you need your pieces you need the glue to hold these stud pieces together. You know what I mean? You need that glue. So
absolutely. Safety is important. I don't know. What was I gonna say?
Now you just get Reed Don. He wants Kyle Hamilton and Tracy Walker. Listen, Ben, you better get ready for Malik Willis at 2.
He's getting greedy. What I will say is when you have a talent, when you just have an elite talent, right? Like a Kyle Hamilton, you kind of just have to just take the talent. Yep. Like regardless of position, if you're there and they are on the board, and you're debating between a special talent at one position and just lower tier talents at other positions, don't reach for the other position just because you think the other position has more value. Take elite talent. Like, just take talent. Stop skipping on elite talents. Like, if they are, if you have them highly graded, just take them. Yep. They will make an impact regardless of what they like, how valuable the position is or not. Just take them. Like, I can get it with running backs. Like, running backs, there's a higher rate than any other position to find a decent one later on. So you kind of don't want to force your hand. And I understand that. But when you have an elite running back prospect and they're there in the mid to late first rounds, and there's no one else on the board that is in that tier, just take the running back. Like, take the special. That's why I really liked what the Steelers did in picking Najee, because even though they don't have a long line left, like, he was the best player on their board. Take him.
Yep.
Because when you do upgrade your offensive line, now you have a special talent behind him. So, like, same thing. Micah Parsons. We talk about Micah Parsons a lot.
Mhm.
A lot of people wanted to skip him, and I was kind of victim of that too. I wanted Devontae Smith. Where the Eagles took
I think
him.
that's what we did. We just didn't see the value in somebody like a Parsons.
Yeah. So
Like, it had to be shown to us.
exactly. And so, like, you have someone like Parsons fall. If we did a redraft and everyone could say, like, if you could say to people, those teams back then, he's going to be a superstar. Regardless of position, he's going to be a superstar. You think he falls? No.
Yeah.
Just take the talent. Take the elite talent and stop worrying about value. There's too many people that talk draft that are so glued into, like, stuff like that. Like, oh, position of value in this round. And, like, dude, just stop overcomplicating it.
Yep.
And just take the best player available. That's really what it is. Anything else draft related you want to talk about?
Nah, but yeah, I guess it's gonna lead us right into the fourth quarter. And no huddle. Gleason's Bar is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue, Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order. Whenever you dine in, take out, or eat, or order, or online, GleasonBarSteaks.com. So, Don, let's kick it off real quick. We have a topic we want to talk about. I know Don has this question. We'll answer this. And
this one.
that is tough. Ooh, that's like, just so they've always been a sidekick, right? Is that how we're prefacing that question?
That's what I'm assuming.
They've always.
I have to go through the list. I don't know. That's a tough question.
Obviously, Robin's going to come up.
And the argument for Robin is the fact that you've seen him evolved, and
Right.
you see him evolve, and he becomes the leader of the Titans. Not a lot of sidekicks that can show that growth.
I actually, mine's is Rob is the obvious one. Just off the top of my head, because this person, until now, I want to say until now, but even now, like, she I'm giving it away. She hasn't really stood on her own. For me, it's probably going to be Harlequin. See?
Okay. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a very outside the box, because now you're talking about villains.
Yes.
But she does absolutely qualify as a sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I good one by you. That's a good one by. I really like that selection.
Thank you, sir.
That is a really good one. I like that. Especially, like, she's growing in popularity now. I mean, she has her own show. She has her own show, and everyone, she has the live action version of Margot Robbie has what now? She's been in 3 different movies.
I think 3, yeah.
3 different movies. She's growing. Popularity is growing. Absolutely.
Have not watched Moon Knight yet, so
I think I'm gonna binge that.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna wait and binge that. I was leaning toward that, but I wasn't decided. But I think I decided I want to wait and binge it.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's something where, if once I get started, it's gonna bother me that I'm gonna have to wait, and to wait for the following week based on what I know. And I'd rather just wait and not know anything yet. Wait until the season's over, or just about to be over, and then start binging it.
Right.
All right. So, topic of discussion that we wanted to talk about. And it's funny that Gleason's Bar is the sponsor for this segment, because this has to do with food. So, if you're listening to us, get your taste buds ready. And I hope you had a great dinner, because we're going to talk a lot about food. And P and I got into a little bit of a debate. I had made a post on Facebook. And if you're on Facebook, you're not my friend yet, friend request me, absolutely, I will accept you. But I made a post on Facebook. Was it last week? Like Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. I found it. So it's one of those memes where it says, Uh, choose one of these food items to pretty much go forever, like get rid of forever. And there's 9 choices. All right, there's 9 choices. Okay, 9 choices, and it goes burgers, tacos, fried chicken, shrimp, crab legs, fried fish, pizza, pasta, and steak. Okay, so there were a lot of I saw that got from one of my friends who had posted it, and they had said they picked crab legs. And I read the comments, and a lot of people are picking crab legs. I'm like, oh, this is getting disrespectful now. Too many people getting disrespectful. So I posted it, and I said, if you say crab legs, I'm hardcore judging you. So if you're getting rid of crab legs, I'm hardcore judging you. So out of all of them, now I will preface this by saying all of those 9, it's hard for me to pick because there's not one on there that I hate. Okay. Right. There's not a single one on there that I hate, but the one that I like the least is probably fried fish. So I said fried fish, but like that's because I like it the least, but I don't hate it. So Pete comments, right? Mr. Evan comments. He commented, he's like, buy the crab legs. There's too much work for a little bit of meat. You have to hammer or crack. You have to have a hammer or cracker just to get the meat out. So we start this back and forth, okay? And so if you're listening, please chime in. So it ends up being to the point where he lures me into saying, I would absolutely.
I lured you? Okay.
You lured me into saying, I would absolutely take crabs over anything on here, including steak. Okay. He lured me into saying that. But that's the truth. I would, because crabs are my favorite food. Whether you're talking about crab legs, crab cake, crab, my favorite's Maryland blue crab. That's my favorite. I brought up on it. So, like, I am a pro at cracking those things. Now, I will say, blue crab is very difficult to crack. A lot of work, a lot of patience. And if Pete had said, or anyone had said, I can't do blue crab because it's too much work, I would have totally understood. Okay, I totally would have understood. But when it comes to crab legs are so easy to crack. When you talk about relative to other foods you have to open, crab legs are so easy to crack. And it was so funny because to me, it's hilarious the fact that he decides to get rid of crab legs, but he hangs on to shrimp. He hangs
my man Don. I appreciate you, baby.
So difficult, so much more difficult to open.
But you can buy them unpeeled. You can't buy crab legs without the shell. If you buy crab legs without the shell, you buying lump crab meat.
No, you're not. Oh my god. Okay, well, you're buying crab meat, but it's not. You had said earlier if you're buying it with already open, you're just
Don. You ready for that venom? Ooh.
Oh my god, Don. Nope.
The next one really gonna get you going.
I know. I saw these shrimps are better than crab legs. Easy. Don, go to the supermarket and see which one. Is more expensive.
So before you go, I want to preface this by saying the way I got him to say steaks, he chooses crab over steak, because I was looking at this list like I have Iron Chef Morimoto or Bobby Flay, Michael Simon preparing a dish, and if I had the choice of preparing anything on that list,
Morimoto's,
and he still chose crab over a steak, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how. And I'll say this, so I don't hate crab legs. They're a nuisance to me. They're a nuisance. I gotta sit there, like you said, you love going to all you can eat crab legs, and you'll clock in for a shift like you going to work.
Hell yeah!
I ain't got time. I don't have time for that. I got other shit I want to do in my day. Give me my 24-ounce porterhouse and my 24-ounce ribeye on occasion. I probably can't even eat 24 ounces of steak anymore.
No, dude, I can't even eat 12. I can't
at my peak of eating, I think the biggest steak I've ever eaten was probably 32 ounces.
Jesus Christ, man! I can't stop with that.
Yeah. But no. So, but just give me my steak and I'm good. And like you said, with crab legs, you have to eat a lot to feel full, and you still want something else. And then Andy hosted in this very ring. We kind of, because Chuck's brought this back around today. He says, I love steak and I love crab, but I never see crab as the main dish. Like crab, like you see steak and they'll put lump crab meat on top, things of that nature. And he kind of has a point there as well. But like I said, Chuck's is on an island where the population is less than 100, where he chew. Now, the other thing, I don't know people that's allergic to beef. You know what I mean? I know people that's allergic to shellfish. You got crab out here breaking bitches out, literally.
I know people that choose to be vegan and vegetarian and
That's
choose
it.
to not eat meat.
But they not eating steak or crab.
So let me preface my not preface this. Let me give my rebuttal and say that, like, I do not expect majority of people to agree with me.
Side with you.
Okay, yeah, I don't expect that. Like, steak is amazing. Steak is amazing. Chuck's on the island after Thanos snaps his finger. It dawned on what I told them is, if I'm on an island, as long as I got crabs to eat by myself, I'm all good. I'm chilling. But like, I don't expect most people to agree with me.
Right.
I just personally, crabs are my favorite food. But you have to understand about me, and this is why I brought up Jake earlier in the chat,
Right.
because when me and Jake were talking about it in the conversation over the weekend, Jake, he chose steak too, but he understood where I was coming from, and the fact that, like, he was also brought up hardcore on seafood, and he loves eating seafood and doing all this stuff similar to what I do. So he understood from my end. Like, what I was telling Andy in one of the voice messages that he probably didn't listen to. Like, when it came to my family parties, like, and if it came to like family dinners, right?
Mm-hmm.
If my mom went to go get bushels of crab from Philly, that was a huge deal. That was like, oh my God, drop everything, go home, get crab, eat it now. Like, that was the prime, like.
That's kind of how, like, our family is. Like, we'll go get three, like, literally, no lie. I have a cousin, love her to death, my first cousin, Phyllis, and she's allergic to shellfish. She knows she's allergic to crabs. Does not give two shits. Dude, I literally seen her eat almost 2 bushels of crabs by herself.
Oh, nice.
Like, when I tell you, like, when it comes, they come out, we get the whole big old long wooden table, you roll out the newspaper, you just put them in the middle, and it's going. And like, and literally now the one thing I will say, blue crab, you're right. I probably don't eat as much blue crab because I just
it's very difficult.
I found a way. So now there's a place out here by me. It's actually not even by me. It's closer to me than you. It's off of Route 40, like you're going to Delaware. It's called Marty's Crabs. Okay. And bro, when I tell you, when you get some number ones, you can get the butter and the garlic. You can get the hot with the heat, the spicy Old Bay and the garlic. Now they be hitting. Do she take it? No, she. Donna asks my cousin take a pill if she has to, because I know that her throat be closed. Like, dude, I've seen it break out on her lips, and she just, bro. I mean, I'm telling you.
Hey, I have to admit, if God struck me with a seafood allergy later in life, that would not stop me from eating crab. I will tell you that now. It will not stop me. It's just literally how I was brought up, and seafood in general. I know Don was talking about Hawaiian shrimp earlier and shrimp tacos. Like, trust me, like, I love shrimp. In terms of my top seafood, I've got crab, I've got crawfish, and shrimp is at 3. So I love me some shrimp. Awesome. But like, when I say my family is like serious with seafood, when I was younger, every other year, my cousins, aunts, uncles, family, we would take a road trip up to Maine for one night, literally just to eat Maine lobster. We would be in the hotel room, we would get a bunch of Maine lobster and just eat lobster. That would be the only reason we go up to Maine. Like, and be like, okay, like, we'll do some shopping maybe here and there, but literally they just want to go up for lobster.
That's one that I can never. I don't think I've ever had it prepared to the way I like it. I'm very big on texture, and like the lobster I've had has been overcooked, so it's been very super chewy. Like I can't eat scallops. I just don't like the taste and the smell.
Scallops are lower on my ranking for seafood, so I understand. Yeah.
Shrimp. Like I don't even really fuck with Olive Garden like that, but Olive Garden got this shrimp appetizer. I don't know what it's called, but it's shrimp, peppers, and onions, and it's fried shrimp. And you get like a pound.
Ooh, good. That's
good.
good.
I came home. My wife brought it home. I literally put my hand in the box. I was shaking them bitches up like they were sunflower seeds. I had grease in my hand, peppers, just pop.
You know what other shrimp appetizer is amazing? If you go to Bonefish Grill, their Bang Bang shrimp.
Oh yeah,
so good,
dude. Like, have you gone? So you've gone to Crab du Jour, right? There's so many.
Not yet. Because, like I told you, like I was saying this, right?
Because you get a little bit of food. That's why I don't get like the whole boil.
Yeah, because like when I eat seafood, like when I go ham. So like if I'm paying like $30 for just a little bit, I'm like, I need more, and I need more because I just love it that much. Like I don't know if you heard my one voice message in the chat, but like I made a decision like years ago in my life where I was like, okay. And this was a big decision for me. Like you make fun of me all you want. This was like a serious, like life-altering moment for me. I decided that when I eat crabs, I am no longer eating with rice. Because if I eat it with rice, if I eat the crabs with rice like I had been when I was growing up, I get full faster and I can't eat as much crab. And I want more crab. So I was like, I made the major decision to stop eating rice with crab so I can eat more crab. And that's specifically with crab legs and blue crab, because for all my hard work, I want to be able to enjoy that meat. So I put the rice aside, and that's a huge deal for me. I eat rice with everything. So that just goes to show you how much I love crab. And so, like, I want to be. I don't go to Crab du Jour or their boils as much, like the boil spots as much, because I know they're not going to give me enough. I had to go to some place that's doing unlimited crab legs. When we went to Maryland a few years ago, I went to a kung fu tournament, and like they had somewhere off the Inner Harbor, there was a spot that was doing unlimited blue crab. So we found it. We went, bro. I ate like 20 crabs, like the 20 blue crabs. Just sat there for 2 hours, ate 20 blue crabs. That's just me. That's just me. But that is just me. Like I know there's not a lot. If you were on average, if you were to take like a percentage, I'd say about 10% of the population, maybe less, agree with me. So that was never like I never like denied that. I just
and I think like my childhood had the opposite effect. So I'm little and I'm seeing all these people that sit here hours at a time eat crabs. Like, what are they doing? And like where I lived at, where I grew up at, like literally the Delaware Bay was like
right there,
probably 10 minutes away. So like my family used to go catch fresh crab right out the water and bring them back. I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, nah. But then once my mom started making them crab cakes and she taught my wife the recipe, which I eat about 5-6 of them bitches.
The crab cakes, you got to do it right. Like I can't stand crab cakes where they make it too mushy. Or like, you didn't hear my one message before in the chat, but like, have you ever been to Bobby Ches?
No, I've heard.
Well, apparently they're supposed to have good, like amazing crab cakes. I tried them. I don't. They weren't good.
That's not a hot opinion.
Hot opinion. I can live without burgers. That's not a hot opinion either.
Because I literally thought about this to myself, but I was like, how often do I go out to eat? Like where I have a variety of everything else on that list as a choice, and I'm choosing a burger. Yeah. Now, if I'm going to a burger spot, that's different.
Yeah.
But when you look at everything, if everything on that list, and this is how I interpreted the question was, everything on this list, I'm like, okay, everything here is available to me at a disposal at one time.
Mm-hmm.
What am I ordering first? Like, and then start going. Okay, if I'm not ordering this, what I'm not. And burgers is like, I feel like if I'm going to some place that has steak, that has shrimp, that has crab, that has fried fish, that has fried chicken. Was it a pasta dish as well?
Pastas this year.
So if I have all that available to me and I order a burger, I feel like I'm like a kid.
Right? Yeah, like you feel like burger is like
It's beneath my
like,
palate if everything
like
else is available.
It's like the basic like all fast food serves burgers. So like,
Right.
why would you order it? You know what I mean? Like, I order burger if I go to like a generic bar or restaurant and like they have just basic American.
One of these
food.
days this summer, you got to come out here. We got a spot called Outlaw Creamery and Burger Joint. Listen, these are gourmet burgers. Now these burgers are some different shit.
Nice.
They have a bacon blue burger, and they stuff the burger with blue cheese, and they put bacon crumbles and bacon on top.
Heavenly. There's nothing like a good. Well, I don't say nothing like, but in terms of burgers, the best is when you have a stuffed patty, like when you have something inside the patty, because I love like with my burgers, I love extra cheese because I need to be able to have a texture to offset the hardiness of the burger, the patty, and when you have it stuffed, it just makes it so much better.
I agree. Bryce says he likes burgers. Burgers are good, but I love steaks more. Now you can get a steak-esque burger if you just get sirloin chuck.
Yeah.
You know? But like, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I drop my daughter off in the morning for work, and I stop. I've stopped at McDonald's probably 2 times a week the past 2 weeks. Because guess what? I go get a steak and cheese, but I don't get on a bagel. Once again, I gotta cut my carbs when I can. That bitch on a muffin though.
You know what's funny? That Saturday when we were talking about this, when we got to the debate later that night for dinner, I was like, all right, babe, I'm craving either crabs or steak because we got into such a heated conversation. I'm like, I'm just craving one. So we ended up going to the diner and both of us ordered steak. So like it's just I was craving. I hadn't had a good steak in a while too. We were trying to go to Texas Roadhouse, but it was a 2-hour wait. We tried to call.
You want the one in Turnersville?
The one in Turnersville, yeah. And we tried to go to Outback or Longhorn, and they had like an hour wait. We're like, we're not doing this.
For this straight steak, I'll choose Longhorn over Texas.
For steak, Longhorn. Okay.
Now, because Texas has better everything else, chili and all that other shit, the bread and all that. Yeah. But as far as just if I'm just the steak itself,
yeah. We went to a local diner, but like it was okay because like the diner near us, we love it. Like their customer service is like top notch, and so and their food is good. So
I haven't had Outback in so long, bro.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I see Jason. Now I heard everybody talks about obviously Roof Chris and stuff like that, but I got to get up to that way. It's a little bit further near you, past you actually. Fleming's, I heard, is fire.
Didn't Brian used to work there? Brian A2D Brian?
Is that the one he used to work at?
Yeah, I think that's the one he used to work at.
I heard, it's another one in Swedesboro, Chop House, or is that in Cherry Hill?
Yes, that's technically Chop House is technically Gibbsboro.
Gibbsboro.
Yeah, my cousin had his wedding reception there.
Yeah, I heard that's the thing. Like you said, well, red meat, like I may eat it once. Like if I'm eating a steak once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, because like I'm trying to get away. The red meat is just so, and the way I like it medium well. Depending on the cut of steak, you know what I mean. If it's a thinner steak, I could probably eat it medium rare, but like it's just. You just weigh down, like you just definitely want to. Now, obviously, after 2 hours of eating blue crab or crab legs,
it'll weigh
you
down.
Taking that regardless, you know what I mean. But like crabs and linguine, but now like even me, like I'm starting to get off. I'm starting to like get away from pasta. So, Don asks, "Are you a fan of oysters? Meat? No, nope, can't do it."
Oysters are one of the rare seafoods that I'm not a huge fan of. I
love
mussels. I love mussels. Oysters are more so.
You have to eat mussels the same way you eat oysters, right?
What was that?
You have to eat mussels the same way you eat oysters, right?
No, you don't have to.
But you spoon it and you slurp the shit.
You don't have to. No,
I'm not.
You don't have to. You can just. Yeah, you don't have to slurp.
One day, like I remember, when I was a kid, I always remember my mom and dad used to go to the seafood spot, and I would always order the clam chowder all the time. And then like one day, I got it, and then like I got a chewy piece of meat, and I was like, never again. Like I can't like that. Ugh, nope. It's making me nauseous just thinking about it.
You know,
I got a little nephew. That bitch I sit there for his birthday. Like, what you want, Malik? He's Clams Casino, and that bitch I sit there eat clams for an hour. So I'm like, God. I don't know how you do it, yo.
You know one thing that I was gonna sorry, I'm texting Mary. One thing that I guarantee you everyone here is going to say ew, but you can't. I guess you can't classify this as seafood. It's out of the box, but I tried it years ago when I started dating Mary. I went over there to meet her relatives for the first time, like her aunts, cousins, stuff like that. They were having a family dinner. I tried snails for the first time.
No.
It's good. Snails are good. I'm not gonna lie. Snails are freaking good. I ate it at her family dinner. They're freaking good. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but I tried one and I was like, I need more. And so like it's funny, every time my mother-in-law asks like, oh, what do you want? What do you want? I'll make it for dinner if we're coming over there. I'm like, you guys got snails again? Can you like snails?
So is it the whole shell and all?
No, you take it out of the shell.
The best way I can describe it is it's like eating a mussel. Like that's
and I don't eat those.
He doesn't like mussels.
Oh, he doesn't like mussels. Then, he probably won't like it. The flavors.
Someone asked about oysters, and I said that's more so you. I can't do oysters.
Oysters are like boogers. No, I'm kidding. They're a little bit like slimier, but like not really slimy. They're just softer.
I heard oysters can be seen like certain clams on oysters are like an aphrodisiac.
They are for some people. I can't. Yeah. Nah. I've tried them. Again, when it comes to seafood, I've tried everything. I've tried not everything, but like anything I will try for seafood.
Have you ever I've never eaten fish with the head on still. Like I can't do that.
My family does.
Like do they eat the head too?
Yeah, they eat the head. I don't. But they even take the shrimp. Do you slurp the shrimp heads?
Like crawfish?
No, shrimp heads.
Oh, nah.
Oh yeah, my family.
Listen, I don't know what this is. This may sound very misogynistic. I don't eat anything where I have to slurp and suck off the juice.
No, that's fine.
I don't know why.
It might be. I don't know if it's an Asian thing, but like I'm not saying I do it, but I know like a lot of Asian like cultures they do that stuff. Like the shrimp. Like my parents will get angry at me if we're eating shrimp and I throw away shrimp heads because they're like, we eat that. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like I don't. Yeah, I mean they don't eat the shell, but the stuff that's inside
they slurp it out.
And
so they eating brains.
Yeah. you want to know something that'll get people really like disgusted. So, so when I eat blue crabs, right? You know when you open the body, right? So you open the shell, and you got the all the organs in there. You got the eggs, the brown side and stuff. We eat that.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else does, but we eat that. I remember the first time my brother-in-law came over when we had he saw us eating. It was like the craziest experience. So you've got to like. I wish he could tell you.
I can imagine his face like what.
Yeah, it was.
I get myself into
he saw us opening it up, and then like my sister would take like the eggs, right, and then put it on the rice, which is amazing. Like, but again, I don't eat the rice.
No, that's different. Like you're not just sitting there eating. Well, I mean, you probably would just sit there and eat the eggs.
I mix it with the crab meat though. I still mix it with the crab meat. But yeah, like the eggs of the crabs, I eat that. It's to me, it's freaking good. But it's funny when we go to like a public spot and where they have blue crabs, and I look around. I'm so bad. I hardcore judge everyone because I can tell around me when they're eating crabs and peeling it. I can tell who are newbies and who are pros. And it's funny because like I see like people like being so gentle opening the blue crab. I'm just like, no, you can't be gentle with it. But like I see everyone like they peel it open and like whatever they have with those like the guts and intestines, they just put it aside. I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, that's a waste of egg, yo. Like
So like I buy mine now with the back off like already and clean.
I saw they do that.
Yeah.
I saw they started doing that.
So that's a no for you. You feel like you're getting cheated?
I need the egg, man. It adds a little flavor to it. It really does. It really does. But that's how
I don't know if there's anything like that I eat where I like. Well, I mean, I eat scrapple, so I don't even like. People tell me, you know what's in that? I don't give a fuck. It tastes delicious.
I like scrapple.
I love scrapple. So I'm trying to think, there's anything else like that I eat where like I get mad if it's a waste.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so no, I don't know. Do you know like you know what I love? I love for a steak and for Korean short ribs.
Never had Korean short ribs yet.
What?
Dude, I'm telling you,
Bro,
I'm like,
you need to come eat with me at a Korean restaurant.
we do need to go. We need to go out. Like I love kimchi. So I was in Syracuse and we went to Dinosaur Barbecue and they had like these Korean barbecue wings. And we were there for like 7 days and I had Korean barbecue wings like every day.
Jake, okay, we are this summer we are going to a Korean barbecue spot. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. The three of us, okay? And anyone else will go, but the three of us are gonna spearhead this. Each of us are going to pick a restaurant where the other two haven't been to, and to expose. So I am going to do some type of Asian restaurant, whether it's dim sum or Korean barbecue, something like that. Okay. We're going to go, and then you guys pick a restaurant we'll all go eat at. But Korean barbecue is so freaking good. Yeah. So good.
Donna asked us, how do we like our steak?
I'm medium rare kind of guy.
I'm medium pretty much.
Yeah, I'm medium.
Certain cuts of steak, once you get into the nuances of the different cuts of steak, different doneness profiles bring out certain flavors in the steak.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed if I'm eating like a ribeye and it's pretty thick, I'm a medium well guy. Okay. But if I'm like this, like a straight porterhouse or like my sweet spot right now, I'm in a New York strip. Like it's not super fatty like a porterhouse or like a ribeye, but it's not super lean like a sirloin. It's kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I like those. I like my top two that I go to are New York strip or sirloin. Those are my top two.
If you're eating steak and you want to be conscious about how much red meat you're taking in or fat calories, you want something lean, sirloin is your way to go.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, like, I like this. I think this is part of what I was going to say is with Korean short ribs and with my steak, I love that edge when they leave the fat, because to me, I love taking that little bit of fat to go with it. And it gives it an extra flavor, and it's so bad for you, but it tastes so good.
Now the Korean short ribs, I'm assuming they're beef ribs, right? Or are they pork ribs?
Yeah, beef ribs.
See, like now listen, braised short ribs. Good night.
But the thing is, you take
fatty though. It's so fatty.
The way the Korean short ribs are, though,
right?
The cut is different. They cut it a different way, and when you marinate and grill it, it makes it taste different. Like I can't don't get me wrong, braised short rib in general is so good, but I drastically like Korean short ribs more than just regular braised short ribs. Like I will. It's one of my favorite foods, and like you'll taste it when you eat Korean short ribs. Like it's called that's two different names, kalbi or galbi. It's the same thing, but when you try it, dude, like they're so good. You can't wait for it.
Don said his Man versus Food is my favorite show.
See, I'm weird. I am weird. I can't watch food shows because whenever I watch food shows, I get mad. You know why I get mad? Because I get hungry. So I just get hangry. I'm watching people cook food, and eat food, and I'm like, I want that food, but I can't get that food. So like, it makes me upset. So I don't watch food shows. I just can't. But one food show that I did watch, Mary made me watch it, and it's a food show that I absolutely should be on. Is Worst Cooks in America. Like I absolutely belong on that show.
You can't cook?
I can't cook for jack squat.
Wow.
It's crazy how much of a foodie I am, but I cannot cook. I cannot cook.
He almost killed me with the chicken.
I will not cook chicken. I tried cooking a chicken dish once, and I undercooked the chicken, and that's a big.
You're out here trying to get people sick, but
I know.
You're out here trying to get salmonella.
I will never try cooking.
165. Once you get the temp to 165, you golden.
I don't know what that. We don't have a temperature thing.
A thermometer thing.
We don't have a thing with thermometer.
Can you barbecue at least?
Oh yeah, grill. I'm good. In the grill, I can grill. That's something I can.
Like, see, I guess I was a little bit different. So when I was like, and we'll get out of here on this one. When I was like 14, 15, my mom took another job, and then my dad, he had his own business, so he ran a barbershop, so he was always home late. So I was like, all right, I gotta eat. You know what I mean? So that's where my cooking started. Like, I mean, I can make biscuits from scratch. I can make sausage gravy from scratch. I can make a cake from scratch, cookies from scratch. And I mean, anything you could think of, I can probably do it from scratch. You know what I mean? So
nice.
I don't cook as much as now because obviously my wife. So, and I taught her how to cook. You know what I mean? So she cooks. I almost had taught her how to cook. She cooks like how my mom cooks. Gotcha. Which is so now for however long I'm here, I always get my mama's cooking. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I try. There are certain things that I really like. I want to try cooking. Like, it's not that the fact that like it's not like I'm not interested. Like, there are things that I really want to try cooking. And when I'm in the kitchen, there's a dish that I'm really interested in or passionate about, I will be like really excited to cook it, right? But I also will not let anyone be in the kitchen with me, especially Mary. Mary's the type where like I will get so anxious if she's looking over me because I know I'll be doing something wrong, and so I will do it wrong even more, and then she'll be all over me, and I'm just like I can't cook right now. So I have her leave the kitchen and I just tell her like, let me do me, even if I'm doing it wrong, just let me mess it up at least, but at least I will be able to get through the dish and cook it.
Don, I can make pasta from scratch. So
I know a lot of people that can.
I was about to tell you. I haven't watched it, Mr. Wing. Neither one of us have watched it yet. We're gonna binge it a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna wait. Yeah, give us a few weeks. How many episodes are supposed to be in that?
I think it's supposed to probably typical 8. Did they drop just one or did they drop 2?
One.
Yeah,
so give it probably a month and a half from now. I'll probably start it.
I wonder if Mary's had a nightmare where she was coming home, you got Grace, and she sees you giving him chicken as a dish.
Oh, God. I would never try that.
What are you doing?
Don't do it. No, oh God. I mean, one thing I can do well is cook. I can cook fried rice. Okay. I was taught how to cook.
If you do the chicken halfway, you throw it in there with the fried rice, the chicken's going to cook the rest of the way.
Yeah, but I'm not taking that risk.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a shortcut, right? So the next time you make fried rice, if you want to make chicken fried rice, just go to Chick-fil-A, get yourself a 30 count of nuggets. And I'm serious, you toss them in there with the fried rice.
Tastes good. I'll try it. Yeah.
Dead serious. I'm thinking I'm hibachi so much. My wife brought me a Blackstone griddle for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
In the summertime when it gets warm out, breakfast on that is so easy.
Mm-hmm.
Eggs on one side, pancakes, and that's so. I wanted to bring this up to you, and then I think everybody's getting crazy about food talk. On the Twitch, so we're doing Twitch now. We have gamers on. Andy plays, I think, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken. He played. Oh no, Fighting Philly was today. But I want to say Tuesday, Don was in there. The question came up: pancakes or waffles? So I said, I'm a pancakes person. I'm a pancake. I'm very judgy with your pancakes. Very judgy. Because my idea of pancakes Yes, Tom, we all hate the Sixers right now. Don
Yeah.
Don loves them. Don loves them. I want pancakes where I can just come in, get my butter, get my syrup, and I'm good. When you start doing all this extra shit on top, it takes like who eats like I can't eat a waffle like that. Like I can, and then what saved waffles was fruit, whipped cream, and then the most important, fucking chicken. Chicken saved waffles. If it wasn't for chicken and waffles and a dude named Roscoe, bitch, you wouldn't even like waffles.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna show this now. What do you mean that? If I had to choose between the two, I would go pancakes. I'm a pancakes guy too, so I'm with you. But it's not that I don't hate waffles though, right? So like I will eat waffles when the time is right for it. One of the things I love with waffles is ice cream.
Oh yes.
If you are in the South Jersey area, okay, and you like dessert, there is a place that just opened up, and they have other locations. They have one in Chinatown in Philly, and they have one in, up north in Edison. But there's a place, a dessert spot that just opened up in Cherry Hill on Route 70. It's called Mango Mango. It is the best dessert spot ever. Okay, we just went today to go because like we go to the one in Philly all the time, but now that we go, there's one in Cherry Hill. Oh, we'll be living there. And today, I'm gonna try to show you guys.
Ooh.
Waffle with coconut ice cream, Nutella, and mango.
Okay.
So, in certain instances, I do appreciate a really good waffle. And most of the time, it's when it's with ice cream. I love I think me and you brought this up weeks ago, maybe. But I love the contrast of having ice cream, which is really cold, with something
Waffle
that's
is
really
really
warm like a waffle.
Yep.
I love that. I love that.
So remember the Applebee's? We talked about the blondie.
Oh,
And you got pissed because they changed it.
Yes.
And they changed it. But that's the same thing. Like we go to me, I mean, all right. So the best two for anything meal, dinner-wise, to me, I'm a big Chili's person. I like Chili's because they don't skip on the entree. But to the end, they get the same thing, but it's the brownie, and they come out in that skillet.
Good.
Good. Like, and so real quick, I'm big on. This is just me, and maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I may get some support out there. Yes, diabetes take the wheel for real, Jake.
Absolutely.
I would much rather go to a breakfast buffet when I was doing buffets versus a dinner buffet. But the sweetest time to go, it's the greatest fucking thing ever created. You get me at a brunch buffet at a Golden Corral when they changing over from breakfast to lunch. Dude, let me tell you, I got pancakes and I got chicken.
Oh, I love it. See, like, I am not a big breakfast foods person. I'm just not. Like, my favorite breakfast is bacon and rice. That is my favorite breakfast. Bacon and rice. Other honorable mentions for my favorite breakfasts. Filipino breakfasts which are like, we have this thing called tocino, which is pork. It's like a red pork with rice and egg. We call it losilog, which is our Filipino sausage with Filipino fried rice and egg. If you
can eat egg, I can eat egg in the rice. I can't eat eggs by themselves.
Gotcha. Okay. Spam with rice. Corned beef with rice. If you're sensing a theme here, rice. A lot of rice dishes.
When you talked about your rice, you said you got to cut back on eating rice. I didn't know rice was this prevalent in your diet.
Oh, dude, like rice is part of my breakfast. It's if I'm not having rice with breakfast, to me, like you know what I mean. So, so like all my top tier breakfast foods of choice is rice with something, with some type of meat, and then like you get like an over easy or something kind of egg. Right. You put it on the rice, or you make fried rice. That's my breakfast. But like, yeah, I'm not a huge breakfast person in terms of generic breakfast foods. Like
Right.
I like pancakes a lot. Breakfast sandwiches, like
Nah.
no, I'm not. So, but with dinner, like Mary loves brunch, and I'm good with it too because like I'd rather go to brunch than breakfast because with brunch at least there's a fusion of like regular food
Everything.
items with the breakfast items. So
hence the brunch, babe.
hence she's being sarcastic. She's like, yeah, hence the brunch, babe.
Yeah,
Don
I mean,
says, Don asks, white or brown rice?
what do you?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. White rice is the best generic, but if you find the right brown rice,
Mhm.
brown rice being the healthier option can absolutely trump white rice. There is if you go to an Asian supermarket and you look for sweet brown rice, it is going to really like it's not because regular brown rice, I totally get it. It has that very like weedy kind of like flavor. It's
Yeah.
very like dry, like, right? And I totally get it. I still like brown rice, regular brown rice, but if you are trying to if you're trying to eat healthier, but still want a good tasting rice to go with your meal, look for sweet brown rice at an Asian supermarket. It is very, 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 very good. The brown rice that I get that we get, it's a mix of half and half of sweet rice and
And you
regular.
prepare it the same, right?
What was it?
You prepare it the same, right?
Yeah, you can prepare it the same. Yeah.
So, question now, because I'm experienced with rice, but that's more on the Latin side. So, like before, I never would even rinse my rice. Now I rinse my rice. So, do you rinse your rice?
Absolutely.
To
You're
rinse and
supposed to
starch
rinse
off?
rice.
So what is you got to text me the rice that you want because I mean rice goes with everything.
Yes.
In my opinion. So you text me the brand because I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever stepped foot in an Asian supermarket.
Yeah.
I say that because the smell is pungent.
Because it smells?
Because of the produce and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ernie says, I had to look back at my phone, thought this commercial was on talking about rice.
Dude,
I'm telling you.
You'll find the stuff, especially if you want to, because you don't want to lose everything if you try to eat a little healthier. Like I finally found a sweet spot for a syrup. It's a light sugar Vermont syrup, where it's 2 tablespoons is like 25 calories, and I'm only use a little bit. Jasmine rice is good.
Jasmine rice is good.
Cilantro rice, you know what I mean? It's just I literally had fried rice for dinner tonight before we came on.
Yellow Spanish rice is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
both. Yeah, Hispanic rice is amazing. So I love me some rice. Like, there's a lot of different types, but like for me, it's hard for me to find a rice that I don't.
Mr.
Like.
Wing already says I saw a 70-30 sweet brown rice on Amazon.
There you go. That's what you want.
I got to get another rice cooker too. Our last one broke.
Yeah. And then do you know how to cook rice from a pot?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Not a lot of people especially even Asians. They don't know the skill of cooking rice.
It's a couple things you try to get it perfect. You'd be crazy, but you got to go into it knowing you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit of rice at the bottom. That's
yeah.
Someone got to die for the cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got to die for the cause.
Just make a bigger pot. Just make sure you make a bigger pot.
McCabe Organic 70-30 brown rice and brown sweet rice, 12 pounds. That's a lot of rice.
Yeah,
I don't know because my kids like to make rice every once in a while. The reason why he said this because this is my creation. You've had hush puppies before, right?
I don't remember if I have.
All right. So hush puppies is like they give it like a fried cornmeal savory like donut.
Have we had hush puppies before?
No, my brain is confused.
No, yeah, I don't think we've had it.
So in the chat after the pancakes and waffles, we start talking about like shrimp and we start talking about shrimp and grits. So I've actually made hush puppies with grits, but I stuffed the hush puppies with bacon.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So and that guy Eddie, like, we need to talk. You come out here to Texas, we can set up a shot. I was like, I don't know, man, because I've seen people do. It's one dude in Savannah. It's another. He's trying to do that stuffed chicken wings. It's certain ways you can do it, but you gotta manipulate the wing and you take it out. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. So it's a little
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, you mentioned wings. I forgot to mention this. Throw this in with we were talking about Korean foods, right? To me, if you're talking about Asian cuisine, Korean is the top tier of Asian cuisine, and that's coming from a Filipino
right.
who's married to a Viet. We love Korean. Korean is the top. Okay, so one of the things they do amazingly well is, I don't know if you've ever had, you might have, but the way Koreans do their fried chicken wings,
no, not yet,
is you've never had wings until you've eaten Korean wings.
Yeah.
There's a way I think it's double fried, right?
They double fry it and they make it like where it's not.
You had me at double fried, man?
Yeah, it's double fried. It's double fried.
Oh, like oily. Like
yeah, it doesn't feel too gross and oily like
and
the
it's
way.
Kind of like caramel.
Oh my god, it's amazing. So
what's the closest place that does that?
You get the right flavor. Oh my lord! Like you have fried wings. You have the skin is perfectly crunchy with the right flavor, like a soy garlic. Oh my god, it's so good, and the chicken is tender. It's amazing.
So I heard, is it banchan?
Banchan is a very popular. Yeah, that there's a spot in Philly, Chinatown. Also, if you don't want to go over the bridge, if you go to Cherry Hill and you go to 10 Asian Food Hall, they do BBQ chicken, which is a brand of Korean chicken, and it's oh god. Bro.
I saw this. It says, what about Dosat?
Dosat House, yes. I think they won for best chicken wings in South Jersey. Theirs are amazing too. Korean wings too. That's one of the best. Like Dosat House is probably the best Korean restaurant in South Jersey that we've tried. We've tried a handful, and they're probably the best. They're very popular. It's like over on the weekends. It's the wait times of that restaurant are insane.
Pork and chive dumplings. I'm looking at the menu now.
Yeah. Oh god. And they have a bulgogi hoagie. Is it a bulgogi hoagie?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Mary loves it. Think of a cheesesteak but with bulgogi. Oh, so good.
I'm looking at a beef bulgogi, marinated sliced prime rib, barbecue.
Yep.
Oh, look at the short ribs. Oh, okay. I gotta stop. I'm
I'm hungry.
Salivating now.
I'm so hungry. We spent 45 minutes talking about food. I'm freaking starving, and this is why I don't watch food shows.
I don't know if I want to go make some fried chicken now, make some pancakes.
I'm about to make some bacon, man. I'm so we're about to go to the diner for more steak or something.
Yeah, man, we definitely gotta get out and eat.
We do. Yeah, when the weather gets warmer, then we'll or sometime soon, maybe sometime in May. Me, you, Jake, anyone else in A2D. Hey, any of the fam listening in, if you're in the area, you want to join us for dinner, come join us. Let's do this.
With pork. I don't know what that is.
Which one?
The wing is coming with the food knowledge.
Where is it? What's it? Oh, banh mi. Okay, so let me hand it over to the Viet. So let's just say that. I'll speak for her real quick. Make sure if you're getting banh mi, it's actually authentic. There are a lot of spots now. There are a lot of spots, just like with pho. There are a lot of spots that will say, "Oh yeah, we have banh mi."
Okay, I'm a very adventurous eater, and I like vegan food. I'm not a vegan. I like vegan food. We went to Sabrina's Cafe, I think.
Yes,
usually have really good food. Tried their vegan banh mi. I was like, what the hell is this? It's literally, it's not even baguette bread, which is what you have to have. And it's literally a slab of tofu. It's disgusting. It's not banh mi. And so many places mess it up. You have to get the pate in there, the liver and everything, the carrots, but like the pickled carrots, everything. Like there's different ways you can do it.
Cucumbers,
There's chicken,
cucumbers in there too. Yeah.
There's chicken, there's beef, there's whatever. I like the traditional one, but people screw it up. So don't go. I'm sorry, but don't go to a white restaurant and order banh mi. They're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, they're gonna mess it up. You need to go authentic.
Don's out when you said liver. I think
He's like, wait, liver.
Liver.
you know liver. I haven't had it in a while because my dad's been passed. My dad used to eat liverwurst all the time.
I'm good with liver. The people, we have. I'm telling you, we are. She makes fun of me. She thinks I'm not adventurous because I'm not as adventurous as her. But I think that's disrespectful.
One of our
we're
okay.
I classify both of us as pretty adventurous eaters. I ate snails with your family, so I mean,
one of the first questions I asked him, icebreaker wise, I was like, "What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know, balut," which is like basically stillborn duck egg that Filipinos eat. That's boiled.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, cool. Mine was snake."
She's eaten snake before in Vietnam. Yeah, so she's eaten snake. So,
I can see myself eating snake.
You know what's funny, Pete? Remember our conversation?
Yeah, I was literally just thinking about like, was that the snake that you saw on the trail? When you ghosted your wife, your soon to be wife at that time, you left her at the bottom of a canyon.
Left me for dead. Found his own way.
Yeah, see, told you. I found my own way. Oh boy! All right, Don. It's time to go. I'm telling you guys. I'm glad Mr. Wing backed me up on it. I'm telling you guys, Korean fried chicken wings are amazing.
Yeah, I gotta get me there. I gotta get.
You gotta try it out.
Maybe we'll take the trip this weekend to Mango and hit it over some dosa. They're like, you want to wait? Order out? Can I order out?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like, what do you want? Just give me 5 order of chicken wings, bitch.
Yeah. Mr. Wing said, "I'll take the snake over zombie chicken eggs."
Them eggs may come back.
To be fair, I don't like it. Like I've tried balut before. And I do not like it, so I don't eat it. But it is a very Asian thing.
It's very good. In Vietnam, they have like balut stands too. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't eat
it's
it
this
anymore,
whole thing.
but it tastes like really good broth.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to look to it, it's an unborn duck egg that people eat.
Good.
They eat the fetus and shit. Like,
okay, now
no.
I can't.
I tried it when I was younger. I'm good. I'm good. So
I think the weirdest thing I ever ate for the black community is probably chitlins.
What are chitlins?
Chitlins are Donna. We may get Donna going on the rant now. Chitlins. Look, chitlins are it's literally pig intestines.
Oh, that's not bad.
So, but it's like, so I used to eat them like vinegar, hot sauce, and stuff like that. And they were chewy, but I liked them till I see my mom coming down, and she only doing for New Year's Day. That's it. It's like it's good luck. And it's probably like 7 or 8 years old. I literally see my mom with the pig intestine, taking her fingers, doing this and cleaning them, and I'm like, "Mom, what's that?" She said, "Oh, this is chitlins." Never again. Dog, I leave like now, not so bad because they get clean now, but I'll probably say not as much as 10 years ago when they still weren't cleaning like that. Dog, I would leave the house when she was cooking them. It would stink that bad.
Oh boy, I can imagine.
Not no more.
I can imagine.
Pig feet, yeah. I see Mr. Wing say he make pig feet. My mom's she's a big fan of pigtails, and they're very.
I've never tried.
It's almost like and she does it where she stews it and all that stuff. I've cooked it before where I smoke them, and it's bacon pretty much. That's what it is.
Oh, now I think I want bacon.
Yeah.
Anyways, I need to go eat. We need to wrap up.
Yeah.
Whenever we have these good no huddle discussions, it goes. It goes. It goes. But whatever the show was, guys, it took a wrong turn for Don Don.
Oh, he heard liver, duck eggs, and intestines.
Okay. He's like, no. Don't worry, Don Don. Just go try some Korean fried chicken wings, and you'll be good. Trust me.
Better than that Detroit pizza, I'll tell you that.
All right, gentlemen. Anyone who's listening, thank you so much for staying on. Thank you for being part of our food conversation and all the other conversations we have. You know, this is why we do this. We talk football, but we love going on tangents, and that's why we have No Huddle. So we appreciate and love the conversations you guys help bring to us every single week. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the sponsors that we have, especially our show sponsor, Manscaped. Make sure you use A2D, promo code A2D for that. And all of our sponsors that we have, thank you for your support. Make sure you check out all of our other shows that we've got going on here. You almost like Detroit Pizza. Thank you.
It don't even respect itself.
Check all of our other shows we have going on at the station over here. Tomorrow we've got Fan Friday with our good friend Jake over there. So make sure you tune in and you make sure you let the one guy know that taking Linderbaum, Todd, make sure you let him know that taking Linderbaum is a good move. So for myself, for my wife, Mary, and for Pete, and for everyone else here at A2D, thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week. Hopefully, we will see you next week with another great show. But until then, God bless, stay safe, and go Birds. See you guys later.